Bagseed Chronicles.
I calculated how much money I went through. I spent over about 14 grand on rosin just like last year.
It's Top Wizdom. S&T Records, let's get it. Zeka on the beat. I'm riding, all the homies with me. Yeah, we been getting hella faded. Just like our eyes, we be staying low-key. Vibing out, always staying medicated. I'm riding, all the homies with me. Yeah, we been getting hella faded. Just like our eyes, we be staying low-key. Vibing out, always staying medicated. I'm gonna get lit, take another fat rip. Off this bomb shit, can't get enough of
Hell yeah, I never even thought to ask permission, you know, of an artist, if I could use some of their music when I had them on. If I'd have thought about this last time I had an artist on here. Was it George Johnson Jr.? Anyway, today's episode, I interviewed Ty Wizdom, who is a local Southern Oregon content creator. And I had a lovely time talking to him and smoking weed with him, and that was a song he made. And while he was here, I was like, hey, can I rip your song? And I put it in the computer and make an intro, and then I did that, and that was fun, wasn't it? Yeah. That song is Ride Back by Ty Wizdom. You can find it on YouTube under Ty Wizdom. And I really enjoyed interviewing this young lad. I've really been enjoying listening to his lo-fi beats. So we're going to talk to him. And I'm in kind of a hyper-creative, manic phase. So I thought, why don't I redo the whole fucking shell of the show for fun? And then maybe never use it again. Anyway, but before all that, I bet you're wondering what the fuck is going on in my garden. Uncle Dick's garden update. It is March 25th, and we are in gardening zone 8B, and it is starting to matter more and more every day, right, folks? So, the 4x4 tent with the 5 autoflowers in it is still going along strong. We are not feeding. We are just waiting for trichomes to turn. All the plants are at 73 days, and honestly, I could harvest almost all of them and get a really satisfying yield, but we're looking for perfection here. We're looking for about 30% amber trichomes, unless something horrible happens and I have to pull. But right now, we're looking pretty good. The Bust Down Pateks smell amazing. They smell kind of like different flavors of Gushers candy. It's amazing. After I harvest this stuff and cure it and smoke some of it, and then it's weed and it gets me high, I'm going to have to maybe invite the person who bred it on. Maybe they won't come, but I would really like to talk to this person because it is an amazing autoflower and it smells very good. Maybe he'd give me more. All seriousness, let's move on. Oh, yeah, and we got the blackberry, too, right, from 420 Fast Buds, and that's doing great. It's a little more faded than I like at this phrase, and I might have to pull it a little earlier than I like because of how faded it's becoming, but we're going to keep pushing, right, because it's not ready yet. Now, let's talk about the little 2x2 in the garage, right? It's like a 2.5 by 2.5, right? And that lone Girl Scout cookie plant, it's a Girl Scout cookie autoflower from 420 Fast Buds. It's at 63 days, and it's already starting to turn amber. So it's a fast finisher, right? I could pull it now and be pretty happy. But we're trying to push those indica characteristics. So we're going to go ahead and let those amber trichomes amber out a little bit more. We're looking, like I said, for like a third. You don't always have to do that, but this one could fade more than it is right now. So, like, it's not upsetting to me. It's still very green, so we can let it finish more. We can let her live, so it's better smoke. Now, really, really exciting stuff, right? We have started the garden, right? We've got 10 photo period plants, right? Regular, non-feminized seeds, right? I've got, 5 Fire of Maroof seeds going. I've got 2 wedding cakes. These are bag seeds, or the wedding cakes are bag seeds. Wedding Crasher. And then I've got a Forbidden Fruit bag seed that's doing really well. And then I've got a Jaeger bag seed that I've already potted into a 1 gallon. And then I've got a Gelato 33 bag seed that I'm already really excited about. And these seedlings are small, right? They're like less than a month old. They're like 6 inches tall, right? They're just getting ready to get up potted in 1 gallons. I would up pot more into 1 gallons, but honestly, I got to let the soil in the 1 gallons dry out. I've got 3 more. And then I'm waiting on an organic super soil blend that I mixed up like yesterday to cook a little bit before I put plants in it. So they might be a little stunted, but that's okay because we're not trying to put them out yet, right? It was snowing today in Southern Oregon. So I'm going to up pot those, and then hopefully they get some good side branching on them, and then I'm going to take 2 clones off of each plant. And then I'm going to sex 1 clone, and then the other clone, I might do like a fun little indoor micro grow or something in my little, I don't know what I'm going to do, right? But I just feel like having extra clones. I feel like maybe doing like a weird, like, you know, like, I don't know, tin can micro grow in my little 2x2 here in the studio. Or I might, like I said, just do a little rapid sea of green where I've got little 12-inch, like little bud trees growing, you know. I don't know what I'm going to do, but it's something fun, something different. And I'd like to get a little indoor preview of what I'm going to be growing this year and kind of maybe make some decisions based on that. I don't know. So that's what's going on in my garden, right? It's early days yet, right? It's nowhere near time to go out. We can't even go outside until May 9th is generally when I do it, right? That's a special day to me. Another day that people go off is Mother's Day. Early May, like more closer to mid-May than early May is when you can start going outside where the plants won't flower from their photosensitivity. But it's going to be an exciting year. Trying to resist the urge to go big, right? I said I'm going to do 20 gallons, and now I'm like, maybe I should buy 30 gallons for these seedlings. And I'm like, so I'm resisting the urge to like overdo it. I'm already gonna have like 20 plants going at one time. Here soon, 30. So many plants, guys. So many plants. This will probably be the first year that I'm even bumping up against plant counts, which I think I'm allowed like 36 juvenile plants or 24 or something. We'll get close, but well, I don't know. We're good. Shit. Well, anyway, what are plant counts for except for like, you know, poking at them, right? But anyway, like as soon as I get the clones sexed, I'll be losing, you know, statistically, we're probably talking 10, so we should be down to 20. We'll see what happens, right? If I've got too many female plants, I'll fucking give some away. I do every year. But anyway, so we're off to the races, kiddos. It's gardening season. Like if you have not started your starts, get on it. Unless you're doing feminized seed, right? I'm gonna plug the holes in my garden with some feminized seed, and I'll probably won't start that until like April 15th. Yeah. Anyway, let's overgrow the world.
It's because everything before this was just a test. I'm riding all the homies with me. Yeah, we've been getting hella faded. Just like our eyes, we be staying low key.
Ty Wizdom is a bud tender, content creator, and rapper out of Southern Oregon. Welcome to the Bagseed Chronicles, Ty.
What up? How's it going, peeps?
Good. And what are you smoking on today, man?
Today I brought into the sesh is some purple Hindu Kush that I grew about a year or so ago, and I just picked up some of my top colas and grounded it up.
Wow, I appreciate you bringing some homegrown to the Bagseed Chronicles. That's awesome, man.
Actually, you want to light it up right now?
Sure, yeah, let's do it. Anything you're excited about, weed-wise, coming up? Anything you're looking forward to getting a hold of or growing?
Oh, man. I'm planning on this year, so there's been one strand that I've always wanted to try. I feel like I've tried a lot of the base strands that have been out, but Khalifa Kush.
Okay.
That is one of the strands I really want to get, and it's only available in certain spots. It's been randomly here in Ashland, but usually in Reno.
Okay,
or
weird.
Las Vegas is the most popular spots for him.
Okay.
So I'm thinking about trying to go down to Reno, get a whole ounce, and yeah, I think it'd be lit.
That sounds like it's smoking all the way back across the Badlands and not have anything left when you got here.
100%.
Oh, that sounds like a fun trip, man. Let me know when you take that trip.
Yeah, man. It'll be lit.
I'll roll big bammers the whole way back until we get to Klamath, and then we'll air out the car on 140.
Exactly. Oh, no. The lighter out.
Oh, there's the lighter out?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, hold on. break. Back. And we are lighting up this purple Hindu Kush. So you're looking for Khalifa Kush. Any particular reason? Just because you heard it in a song and you're just curious about hearing it, or have you heard like something a little deeper about that?
Well, I've tried a lot of other rappers' strands. I've actually gotten some of like Burner's Cookies. That's a really good one.
Okay.
And the people that grow Snoop Dogg's stuff, I was able to get some sample of that. And I've grown up when I first became a stoner, I should say. Wiz Khalifa was one of the first artists I really got into, and he inspired a lot of me getting deeper into it. And it was one of those strands. It was it was a really hard one to come across. So
okay, interesting. And like my experience with cookies, wasn't necessarily related to Burner. But I had a buddy of mine, a neighbor nearby, gave me a cut of Thin Mint Girl Scout cookies as a housewarming present. And I grew it like out in the pot in the backyard. And I didn't really know what I was doing, but I still got like a half a pound, or 3/4 of a pound off of this outdoor plant. And so it was just amazing. And it was it was kind of like a tight butted, kind of like a bitch to trim, but like, God, it smoked so good. I loved it.
Most of those cookies, they're really nice nugs. I love them.
Oh, this is good, man. You grow this? This is really good. Thanks for sharing this.
Man, it's already a year old, too. That's what's crazy. I just
I
keep
like
it
year-old
preserved really
weed.
well. It hit different.
I like well-cured weed. Like I like weed that's 2 months old, but I also like weed that's like a year old. If you got it in jars and you've got it in a cool, dark place, man, it can keep for... I've had weed that was smokable out 2 years, and then after that, it got a little rough. I was still smoking it, but it got a little rough. I wouldn't give it to people.
100%. And what's really nice, too, is if you cure it right, the cannabinoids kind of switch up into it. You can get some CBN that comes out of it.
Right.
And that's a really great cannabinoid. It almost hits like an indica without the psychoactive effect. So,
or like a body lock almost.
And puts you to sleep, kind of like knockout, kind of high. So, personally, I can't really smoke sativas. They give me really, really bad anxiety. So it kind of stacks on top of that and calms it down with, just a normal indica.
That makes sense.
From the Purple Hindu.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. I don't really like a lot of sativas either. They give me anxiety too. And a lot of times what I'm medicating for is PTSD, and I don't need like a lot of extra energy or a lot of drama in the brain. Like every once in a while, like on a nice Sunday morning, I'm like a lot of stuff to do, right? Or I just want to like, go on a hike and just like, charge wide-eyed into the forest. Then yeah, we'll smoke like some Durban poison and just go all glowy into the woods. But other than that, like I'm good.
Yeah. When you're just chilling, if you try to smoke that, it might not be so good.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have a grow going right now?
Sadly not. During my time when I was manager at the other dispensary, we good?
Yeah, we're good. I'm gonna do that from time to time. I'm gonna like peer at the screen. It's gonna look weird. 100%. Don't worry about it. Until I tell you to worry about it.
Yeah, it took so much time, and I wasn't able to even get an outdoor growing this year. And all my indoor stuff, I ended up taking down just to get my space, and that's actually kind of where I put my music studio up right now. So
okay, cool.
Yeah, but hopefully I can get back into it. I really hope so.
Well, and sometimes like especially like we were talking earlier with autoflowers, you could do like a 3-gallon pot they'll stay under the fence. It'll be like a small yield, but at least it'll get you back in the dirt.
Yeah.
So what, like when you did grow, were you growing in a tent or a room or?
So I had an outdoor farm that was medical, and I had 6 plants out there, and it was in Shady Cove. Oh, it was in Shady Cove,
right?
And the weather out there is so beautiful for, especially like the cushes and whatnot. It makes amazing weed. So that's where I was having those going, and then I ended up I did 4 indoor plants, a couple runs of that. My first run didn't go so well. I had these little mites. I'm guessing they were some type of spider mites, but they weren't getting onto the plant themselves. It was just eating at the soil.
Weird, like the roots maybe.
Yeah, and that's why I think I ended up getting them in the end. Then I did another run, and my lighting wasn't as strong at that time, so the buds were meh when they came
Oh,
out,
right,
but, yeah.
right.
But now I got everything. So once I do get back into it, I have a way better light, a lot better ventilation system, fans.
Nice.
yeah.
That stuff gets expensive, man. It can take a
Oh, it
long
adds up.
time to build a tent, put it together if you're like working all the time and you don't have a lot of free time and your money's going to bills. Like it can be hard. Like it took like a few years to get all this stuff together, and I bought it like one piece at a time. Like
That's
you
what I
look at it, it's got different brands names on it because it was all like on sale on like different websites at different times. Like, 10% discount code here, 10% discount code there,
Right, man. And you just got to build it up, and then once you have it all done, you can get some good stuff.
Yeah,
Can we curse here? Am I
Yeah,
allowed to?
yeah. It's an
Okay, cool.
explicit show. We're
Cool,
smoking weed on it, man. It's fine.
100%.
Like, say all kinds of disgusting shit, And if you want people to think you're disgusting, you do you. I do sometimes. So, you covered a lot of stuff. So, what is the favorite plant you've grown so far that you've smoked? Like, I like that thin mint. Like, it was one of the first plants I grow, and I'm all a lot of times chasing it still.
Definitely the purple Hindu Kush. Like
Okay.
this stuff, it produced such crazy colas.
Yeah.
And, I was amazed on how much that I got out of it. I think with those 6 plants, I got away with about 20 something pounds.
Oh fuck yeah, dude!
Yeah,
no, those
and
were in
I-
the ground, not in the on pots, just in the ground.
They were. Well, we did above the ground, like custom made.
Oh, okay,
But
like
yeah, kind of basically
like giant raised beds almost.
exactly.
Okay, totally, like a 300-gallon raised bed over like just bare ground.
Yeah, just and also
Nice.
helps keeps animals out and stuff
Totally,
like that.
totally.
And they had cats, so.
Oh yeah,
But it was definitely amazing setup, and I had so much I had to start just taking it, and I was throwing them in jars and throwing them in the freezer to make hash just as quickly as possible. because
yeah.
I
I've got some
didn't know what I was
trim in
gonna
my
do.
freezer right now from last
Man,
year.
I was taking colas and just shoving them in there, and I was like, damn, I wish
It's
I
a
could.
beautiful problem to have, isn't
Yeah.
it?
And then, I made a lot of hash, and then I started making rosin out of it because I'm a huge concentrate smoker. I was.
Do you have a press?
I have a 20-ton press.
I got screens in that box right there. When I start busting them out, maybe I'll bring you some like dry sift and you can press it. We can have some fun.
Dude, I'd be down.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
let's
cool.
do it.
Okay, cool. So, I always wonder, like, so you were working as a bud tender for a while. You're not doing it right now, but I know you were working as a bud tender for years. That's where I first ran into you.
Right.
Was at the dispensary, like buying weed from a guy, and I wanted to ask some questions, especially since you're not working there now. You can blow up their fucking spot. So
Oh,
I got to
shit.
ask you some questions. Like, you've been a bud tender for a while now, and
Right.
so, like I always ask myself, how high is my bud tender?
Oh,
and I
man.
want okay, so like, do you smoke at work when you're bud tender?
Okay, so we don't smoke on the premises. So
Okay.
that's the best way to put it. But yeah.
So you're high as fuck in the ditch across the street.
Oh yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
definitely. And it's pretty lit. Like, and for a while, we misunderstood the medical terms.
Right.
So we were smoking up here and there, or on like the backside.
Right.
And the OCC's like, yo, you can't be smoking on the premises. You can't consume. Like,
Kiddos, stop it.
and so, but you can go off the property. So
Go to Burger King,
Yep.
eat a Whopper on your break, roast it, come back. It's all good.
100%.
So,
But your bud tenders are probably pretty lit.
okay, so fair enough. Because it seems like that sometimes, and I'm like, is this guy high? He seems high.
We went through 6-7 people in a row the last like 4 months I worked there that were just, they thought you could just get so blitzed though.
They couldn't hang.
They could not, and they would try to help customers and they were just so out of it. It was bad, and they just
Yeah.
couldn't even run their stuff right. So like if you do get lit, just make sure you're able to be more aware. And
Like, if you're
don't
like, if you're fresh,
don't be zonked.
Yeah, dude. When I first come out here, like, people here smoke weed on like a different plane of existence almost.
Bro, 100%. Man, especially, I don't know. I just think that it's such easy to get high end stuff in a sense. Like even at dispos, the prices have gone down dramatically in these last couple of years.
Yeah.
So people are able to just chief on top crazy stuff, and then they try to make it even crazier. So
Well, and then if you're in the game for a while, I feel like people like if you grow and you like give out cuts and you give seedlings, like people like drop like a little quarter ounce on you every once in a while. Like if you grow, it bags of weed like multiply on you. Like it's a really nice problem to have. But like, and if you have friends that grow, like every harvest season you get together and everyone's pulling out bags or jars. Like, check this out! Look how well this turned out. I'm like, or man, mites ate most of this, but check out the stuff I was able to pull. You know that stuff.
This shit.
Yeah. It's like over and over again. Everybody getting roasted, can't even remember what they smoked or what they liked anymore. Just gone.
Shit.
Those are the kind of sessions I like to
Want
have.
more of this? It's near the.
Oh yeah, we'll roast that down to the end.
100%.
So do you have a preference for indoor or outdoor grown flower, or does it depend completely on like the situation?
Depends on the grower. Like if the grower can show me that I've seen some outdoor that destroys indoor.
Right.
Like if it's grown properly and it's grown in the right environment. I'd say that, but I really do prefer indoor. Really, I mean,
Okay.
And I guess for the longest term, like I said, I was a dab smoker, so I like the rosins, the live rosins, half rosins. Oh man, that's where it's at. And I calculated how much money I went through. I spent,
oh my gosh,
I spent over about 14 grand on rosin just like last year.
That's so much money on like any kind of weed.
And that's like counting all of them cheap, because I just calculated how many containers I had and made them like $10 to $15, even though rosin goes for anywhere between like 30 to 40.
Right.
And I was like, okay, then I calculated that, and it came out to about 14,000.
See, that's why I like smoking home grow flower. I like,
100%, dude.
I like smoking a lot, but like if I'm growing it at home, like I feel less bad because I grew it here and I'm not like buying it because it gets expensive. Like if you're like even if you're only blowing through like an eighth a day, even if you're just starting like that adds up quick. It can be a $35. Yeah, and you're working, you're trying to blow through an eighth a day, like $35 every day if you're getting good, or $25 maybe, but like if you're getting good stuff, like if you're not always getting it on sale, you're paying like $20-$25 for something that's decent to chief on.
Yeah,
that's every day if you're smoking an eighth a day. But if you grew like 3 pounds in your backyard, then you're fine for a while.
Exactly.
So if a new cannabis consumer walks into the shop, what would you normally recommend, or would you kind of feel them out like what they were after?
It's all about how they approach it.
Right.
So if they roll up and they're just like, I want the highest numbers that you got. Right. And I'm just like, okay. I mean, yeah. But if they're looking for an actual experience, like if they need something to mellow them out, right? They like special, like the limonene terps or anything like that, I have to make sure, to know what's on our shelf that could be able to provide for them. Most of the time, if they're a new consumer, I would say start them off with flour. Yeah. And probably pre-rolls even. Okay. Like some high-end pre-rolls, okay. Not the cheap, like, in-house usually. Just get them a nice pre-roll. And then depending on what they're looking for, if they're looking for something to chill out or if they want to go hang out with their friends or whatever, that's what I'll suggest then. Or edibles if they don't want to eat. I always go for gummies, something easy to consume and to dose out. Okay, cool. I see people go like, oh, you should try this RSO. And that will destroy your world if you if you're not ready for that and you never can, you're still new. It's a concentrate.
People hit vapes and be like, "I was high for 3 days." And you ever smoke weed before? Like, nah, man, it was my first time. And like, and you hit a Grape God vape. Who did that to you? Who did it? Who would do that? Like, that's almost like dosing people. And like, you dab out someone who's never smoked weed, and like you and you're all snickering, and they're like, "What? Like, it'll be fine." Like, no, don't. Be nice to people.
Yeah, so I always do that. And then also if they're like...
Unless they're asking for it. They're like, I want to get high. I'm like, oh, all right, motherfucker.
We got some shit for you. And then if they're more in the elderly, definitely I look for, like, usually gummies. I don't try to suggest smoking at that point. Okay. But yeah.
So did they give you samples?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you get a lot of samples. Depending on how the dispensary's running, the last couple of dispensaries, it's been an interesting process. Sometimes they'll just like bulk give you a lot.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
like 14 grams at a go or some shit.
Man,
Okay.
my first dispensary, they gave me like triple the limit of
oh
herb,
man. Oh god. Okay.
and like multiple pounds of gummies, and it was
Oh my
like
gosh.
they built up a long time. It was like 8 months worth of samples, and then the OLCC came in, told them you need to move some of this out. You can't have this much on you. And then they're like, okay, so they didn't really know how to divvy it out, and they just went, here you go. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. There are
But-
people out here, their mouth is watering right now. Like you just got like a display box full of like pre-rolls and shit in your like
wild.
apartment or whatever in your house.
Yeah, and I think somewhere on my old YouTube, I might have videos of like where I was unboxing all of it, because I would just do like a review on everything.
Right. On the stuff the work gave you.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
awesome.
most dispensaries, it should usually, they just like, as they get it, they sample it out.
Okay.
It's like, oh, this person they like dabs, usually gives them a dab. People for edibles sometimes, so you just make sure that, you know, they kind of get what they want, but let them try new brands for sure.
Right. And speaking of dabs, let's go ahead and talk about it now, right? Because we're still talking about methods of consumption. We're still talking about methods of consumption, and you know, everyone has a preference. You said you were dabbing a lot, and then you said recently you had stopped, and you wanted to talk about that. You had two different like outlooks on dabbing.
So yeah, I mean, I've always been a huge consumer of dab and the concentrates, because it's just easier to do. The
Right.
flavor is really nice, and it is smoother on your lungs if you do it correctly. When I first got into it, of course, though, it was in the titanium days.
Hot
And-
nail!
Yeah, you just. And then, oh man! So I've done really a lot of damage to my lungs, and
no, man,
my
that
friend showed me titanium nails, and we did 1,000-degree dabs a couple times. I globbed up, and
No.
I immediately, second inhale, I passed out. I hit the ground. And so in recent time, there's a couple of other people that I've helped get into consuming, and my friend, I got him into smoking off a quartz nail.
Okay.
Low temp, making sure that you do cold starts.
Yeah.
And just doing it right, you'll be a lot nicer to your lungs. But
Yeah.
I've gotten to the point now where my asthma and it's just, I've smoked for so long. I'm starting to
man.
have breathing problems.
Oh man, that
yeah.
sucks.
And then now that I'm trying to get into doing vocal stuff, yeah, I have to really make sure I treat my lungs right.
Right. Oh man, that's rough.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah, and I haven't been the kindest to my lungs. You know, I smoked cigarettes. You know, while I was in the army, I wasn't a big weed smoker. Like I tried to do it if I had a long leave, but there really weren't a lot of opportunities because they were drug testing like constantly and often and a
Really?
lot. Yeah. Oh yeah. In the army, like other jobs, like they'll drug test you if you like crash the forklift into like the shelves and break a bunch of shit and hurt yourself. But they're not really drug testing you, you know what I mean?
Right.
But in the army, they're like, so everyone takes a drug test every month. Like everyone. They do 100%. Everybody pisses in a cup.
wow.
And then like there's 10% randoms. Or at least there was. It might be different now, right? Everything changes, you know. But when I was in every week, there'd be a random. And they just pull and I'd always get picked for random. So a lot of times I was getting drug tested twice a month. Because listen, I feel like the army knew I was a weed person really before I knew I was a weed person. They're like, this motherfucker's got to be stoned. I'm high on life.
They predicted it.
No, yeah, but yeah, no, that's what. And so I tell people like, they're gonna check. Mm-hmm. Like in the military, they're gonna check.
Damn. Well, yeah, shit.
So, you've been producing hip hop. Speaking of vocal stuff, you're running a production company called S&T Records, right?
Well, it's not really a company, but it's more of like a community thing.
Like
I'm
a
trying to do with
collective?
it. Yeah. So, a few people a while back, we came up with this idea to try to have like other artists and other even content creators have a space to be able to share their content and get like out there without having to sign up to anything. There's nothing that you sign up to.
Okay.
but yeah, it just helps to get more visual on your artwork in a sense, and what you're creating. Because especially through like Instagram's issues nowadays, it's you need another set of eyes to be able to get on there, and even just having that time and time again, someone will eventually click on it, and it will bring in viewers to it. So I definitely think it was a cool idea. So I'm gonna try to go through with it now. The couple people that were running it with me, they kind of split ways, so now it's just kind of a solo thing, but yeah still
that's kind of how a lot of artistic endeavors go. I had a podcast, I didn't have a podcast. My friend Evan in Oklahoma had a podcast, and there were two other gentlemen on there that hosted it with him, and then they kind of rage quit.
Oh no!
Because he likes to get up to shenanigans on social media. And you kind of know what you're getting into when you go in to like work with him. You know he's gonna post like really like stuff that makes you take a deep breath. Sometimes like, oh man, Evan, you're just gonna say that, but whatever. Like everyone knew that's what's okay. But eventually he had me on to replace them, and we did it for a little while. It was called Bong Loads and BS, and then of course that didn't work out either, and then that stopped, and then here we are. But like that's why it's good to have your own thing, folks.
100%. Yeah.
And then I do another radio show and all this stuff. But yeah.
And look what you got going on now, man. Fuck.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
This is lit.
Yeah, I'm having a good time, man. So what does S&T Records stand for?
Oh man, so this goes way back.
Okay.
So when I first started getting into the cannabis content, I created a channel called Smoke and Toke TV, which is still out there to today. And I kind of just been running through with that, but Instagram was actually what forced me to come out with Wizdom and stop with Smoke and Toke, because everything was shadow banned. If you put smoke or toke or anything in, you're just shut down. So I was like, how am I going to be able to stay active on this platform?
Right.
And I don't know, not get shadow banned every few days. So that was it. I found Wizdom and then put S&T in there. So you got S&T TV, and it avoided that. So and then that's what I've been just kind of running with it, and it sounds kind of nice. So like Smoke and Toke Records.
I like it.
That's kind of what came with it.
So like I've been on the Smoke and Toke Records YouTube, and I've listened to a couple of the songs, and the most recent one you came out, it's called The Sesh, but it's got like a hook that repeats. It's like you and me go together like a joint and a lighter, and then I forget because I'm stoned when I'm listening, so I always forget the lyrics. But
yeah, good.
But I was listening to that, and I really like it. And like your earlier stuff was good in a different way, but that song got really playful in like a fun way. Does that make sense? It was like more lighthearted.
Oh yeah,
which I really enjoyed. That's fun.
Yeah. So that was well, even just going back to the first track, like I started this not really even knowing anything about music. This is everything I've had to just kind of pick up and learn.
Right.
And I've been just doing a lot of research and just trial and error. And it was just kind of like, I need to put something out there, see what the waters are like. And that's how the first couple tracks came out, the Haters and whatever the other one was.
Ride, something like you're smoking in a car, Riders or Ride Back or whatever.
Or something. Yeah.
But no, it's a nice jam, but it's like all about like a hot box in a car on the highway.
Yeah, man, it's lit. And so the sesh originally was going to be We Go Together, but I found a really cool artwork that my friend took.
Okay.
That's the logo for it.
Right, that is pretty.
And it was February, so it was supposed to be out near like Valentine's Day, so it was supposed to be kind of like a lovey track.
Right.
But there was really it was just kind of a free vibe, and I loved the beat behind it. Shout out to Pink. It was a wonderful beat, and I just felt like that was a great hook, and it just kind of came together that way. But yeah.
Is it about an actual like chick?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, it was just something that came to mind.
Well, I like it. It's a vibe. Like I could see
appreciate that.
Like I've smoked to it. I've had it playing in the garage while I was smoking. I like it.
That's dope. Got a lot more coming out soon too, because like that was still these are all still the early stages, and that's kind of what I'm wanting to do, is just show that like this is where I've came to, And then eventually I don't know. I have a couple of beat producers that are going to be helping me get some solid tracks out. I'm
Nice.
excited. These next couple tracks are going to be amazing, I think.
Okay, cool. That's gonna be awesome. I'm looking forward to that. And
Yeah.
then like getting distribution eventually is big too.
Yeah, so I was waiting like till my 5th or 6th track because I wanted to
That
put a
makes sense.
decent little catalog together.
Like an
before.
EP.
No, just like I had enough tracks out, so it's not just
Okay.
like 1 or 2 on Spotify. So like,
Totally.
but I also I do have a little EP for that's gonna be coming out.
Okay.
And
Hell yeah.
It's gonna be way down the line because I want to be.
mixtape.
I want it to be better. You know, I want to make sure I have everything down at that point. So,
okay, cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But
I always look forward to the little short ones. They're
Yeah.
because I like them because a lot of them in hip hop are themed too.
exactly,
So it'll
and that's
be
what
like
I want to do with it.
it'll be like 5 tracks about just slanging one drug, just like the like my favorite one.
different ways.
Dude, there's one by this guy. I think he's out of Utah. Not Utah. What's the other little state that I keep for New Mexico? I think.
Oh,
Bass
yeah.
Drop Keys, and he released one called Grow House. That's really fun.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's fun. And then and it's about a grow house and like and it gets sad too.
Oh.
Oh boy, did we lose it? No, we're fine.
Yeah.
When can we look forward to the next release, do you think? Like a couple months, like
Oh,
6 months? Like
I'm gonna try to start having tracks come out more frequently.
awesome.
I'm trying to get more of the plugins and everything down.
Okay,
and
that makes
like
sense.
the process because before I was putting in a lot of effort that I on certain things that really didn't need that much work.
Oh, I
And so
understand
having
that.
like pre-setups, yeah. So it was really interesting, and I felt dumb because I was putting in just so much work. So it takes 6 months to produce a track, and now I feel like I have a solid setup. I'm thinking probably the next 2 to 3 weeks I should have my next single coming out, but I'll have that all announced on my Instagram and Twitter, and Social Club. That's pretty.
Oh, okay, you're on there?
Yeah, that Social Club, it has its ups and downs. I'm gonna be
Okay,
real with you.
fair enough, yeah.
Right, it's still in the beginning, and they just need to deal with the bots and the scams. Like,
Oh wow.
if they can get rid of that, I feel like it'd be a solid platform.
people are out of pocket in there.
It's just like IG bots.
Oh yeah, and like dudes
it
trying to
just
sell
sells
you
guns
drugs.
and like everything. So
It's like, hey man, you need to plug. I'm like,
Cash
dude, I
App scams,
appreciate the
like-
follow, but I'm not trying to buy drugs on Instagram,
100%.
homie. Like, just like keep following me, but don't make me tell you no, man. Just leave me alone. Like,
Yeah.
I love to collaborate, but like, I don't want to buy your sack. I don't want you to mail me weed. I don't want to buy shrooms from you. I don't want to do ketamine.
yeah, dude, nah.
I'm good, and I don't want to buy
Keep
it
all
on
that shit.
Instagram. If I was gonna do it, that's not where I was gonna buy it. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah,
So you've been doing the Instagram thing. You've been doing all this stuff. You're gonna set a grow up soon. Is there like anything else you want to share with the people before we get out of here?
Oh man, I mean, just stay on the lookout for those new singles. It's gonna be hype. But there's a lot more going into this. And,
Okay.
we still got some new episodes of Smoke and Toke that are gonna be coming out, but I'm gonna have all that coming into one main channel, the Ty Wizdom channel.
Oh, okay.
So all
cool.
that will be on there, but you'll still be able to have a playlist that accesses all of them.
Nice.
But yeah, make sure you go check that out.
Okay. And where can the folks find you on the internet? That Ty Wizdom channel with a Wisdom with a Z on
Yep.
YouTube
TYWIZDOM. Yeah.
and on Instagram.
Everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Twitch. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, everything.
All right. Thank you so much for being on the
Thank you, bro.
backseat. Yeah, I had a great
This
time.
is lit. We'll have to do it again.
Oh fuck yeah! Let's overgrow the world.
100%.
Thank you for listening to the Bagseed Chronicles. You can find me, Uncle Dig, at Uncle Dig on Instagram. If you enjoyed this episode of the Bagseed Chronicles, please share with a friend.
yeah.
We go together like a joint and a lighter. We take a puff that ain't enough, so we get higher. How you chief up to keep up, I truly admire. You ignite sparks in my heart, I can feel the fire. I said, we go together like a joint and a lighter.